Well, this past week, Democrats officially nominated Joe Biden for president and Kamala Harris for vice president. We provided you a daily wrap-up of those virtual convention events at talkbusiness.net. We'll do the same for the Republican virtual convention this week when President Donald Trump and Vice President Mike Pence are officially nominated. Now, Ron Oliver was the Democratic Party of Arkansas chairman when John Kerry was the 2004 Democratic presidential nominee. He attended that convention in Boston as well as the conventions of 1996 and 2000. Oliver, ever the political animal, offers his contrast with this year's virtual convention and shares one of his favorite convention experiences.
The usual conventions are a lot of fun. You know, aside from the activity on the floor, there are all of the receptions, there are all the parties, the kinds of things that, you see a lot of people that you've read about and that you've seen on TV. And so it's very interesting for a political junkie to go to those. This convention, while I think it has been produced quite well for what it is, it has to be a real downer for anyone that was elected to be a delegate this year, because you're not there, you didn't get to participate in any of that, and that's very regrettable, because I think that's a once every 4-year civics lesson for anybody that's interested in politics and in government. And I don't know, I really hope that this is the only year that we'll have to do it this way. Once you go as a state party chairman, it's hard to top that. But I was party chairman in 2004 in Boston. One of the things that I got to do, which I had grown up dreaming about really, was to cast Arkansas's votes for the nominee. Although that night I asked General Wesley Clark to join me, and I did part of it and he did part of it, which I thought was appropriate, since he had run and was sort of a favorite son from Arkansas. At that convention also, Terry McAuliffe was national chairman at that time, and if you know anything about Terry, he's a real carnival barker type high roller. And when we showed up, all of the state party chairs had a new Cadillac and a driver that drove us everywhere around Boston. I mean, I ran out of places to try to see, I'd say, take me here. I wanted to go to Harvard and Cambridge, and we went to Beacon Hill, and we did a real tour of Boston. So that in itself made that one a lot of fun. And we also went out to the Kennedy Library, which, the thing that struck me is that the library did not seem that big. But then I thought, well, the man was only president for 3 years. But the setting was beautiful. It's on the water, and it's very, very nice.
Well, that's Ron Oliver, former chairman of the Democratic Party of Arkansas and still current political animal and observer. It must have been nice to have a Cadillac to drive you all over Boston. We should take our show on the road and maybe do the same. Of course, the Republican National Convention will be this week. We'll be providing daily updates on that at talkbusiness.net. That's all for this edition of Talk Business and Politics. I'm Roby Brock. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.